Good morning, everyone. This is Ms. Zainab Raya talking. I hope you are all good. Today, we are going to do something very special. We aren't just reading science, we are becoming scientific translators. Have you ever looked at a diagram in your workbook and wondered how to explain it using professional language? This is our mission today. We are going to learn how to turn a label drawing into a perfect scientific text. Take a look at this title. Translate a label diagram by a text. By the end of this period, you won't just say this is a mouse or this is a person. You will use the language of a real biologist. Are you ready? Let's start. Before we start, here are my top 2 tips for writing like a scientist. First, use every label you see. If the book gave you a word, it's a clue. Don't ignore it. Second, use your acquired knowledge. You already know a lot about the body. Now is the time to show it off using scientific methods. Open your workbooks to page 48. Look at the diagram from the organism to the cell. Do you see the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4? That is our roadmap. We are going to zoom in starting from the biggest part and going down to the very smallest. Look at the rat. In science, we don't just call it an animal, we call it an organism. So, our first sentence always starts the same way. The organism of the followed by the name. In this case, the organism of the rat. So, when writing, I should start by the sentence, the organism of the rat. Now look at the man. Is he just one piece? Of course no. So, grade 6, tell me now, by which sentence should I start always? If you said the organism of the man, you are right. Now, after that, I should say the definition of the organism. After saying the organism of the man, I should define it. The organism of the man is a group of systems working together in harmony. Think of it like a big clock with many gears. One of those gears or systems is the respiratory system you see here. So the first sentence representing the number 1 is the organism of the, then I say the name of the animal or whatever I have. For example, the organism of the man is a group of systems working together in harmony, and then I give an example. One of them is the respiratory system. In this case, we are talking about the respiratory system. With the rat, we will see together that the first sentence would be the organism of the rat is a group of systems working in harmony. One of them is the digestive system, because we were talking about the digestive system. Now we will move to the step number 2. Let's zoom in. If we take one part of the system, what do we find? We talked about the organism, the system, then we will talk about organs. Right? What is the definition of the system? The system is a set or a group of organs, right? For the man, the lung is an organ of the respiratory system. For our friend here, the rat, the liver is an organ of the digestive system. See how the logic stays the same? Now let's look even closer at the organ. What is it made of? What is an organ made of? The organ is made of tissues. Just like your clothes are made of fabric, our organs are made of biological fabric called tissue. In the liver, we called it hepatic tissue. In the lungs, we see epithelial tissue. The sentence number 2 in my text will be, the lung is an organ of the respiratory system. So I say the name of the organ presented in the document. Then I say the definition. It is made of many different tissues. And finally, I give the example like the epithelial tissue. We are almost at the end of our zoom. If you take a piece of tissue and look through a microscope, you find cells. This tissue is a group of cells. For the liver, these are hepatic cells. In this example, the sentence will be, the tissue is a group of cells called epithelial cells. So I define a tissue, then I give the example presented in the document. Finally, I end my text by the definition of the cell. So I should say, I should give this professional answer. The cell is the smallest structural and functional unit in the body of an organism. You already studied this, right? Here is our text now. The organism of the man is a group of systems working together in harmony. One of them is the respiratory system. The lung is an organ of the respiratory system. It is made of many different tissues like the epithelial tissue. This tissue is a group of cells called epithelial cells. The cell is the smallest structural and functional unit in the body of an organism. And this is how I transform this drawing into a text. It is that simple. We have taken all these levels, organism, system, organ, tissue, and cell, and woven them into one beautiful paragraph. Now it's your turn to solve page 48. You can use the paragraph here to help you solve this number. And that was everything for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.